Hello and welcome back to 30 Power Tools for Project Managers. In this session, we're going to be talking about some tools of the knowledge areas in the PMBOK Guide 6th edition. If you've come across the PMBOK Guide, the Project Management Body of Knowledge Guide, you realize that it's full of plans. And this first tool that we're going to take a look at is from the Quality Management Knowledge area. Now remember, I use the term tool very loosely because I look at all of the possibilities in the PMBOK Guide as potential tools that the project manager can use to get the job done. You got builders with spanners and hammers and cranks and wrenches. You, the project manager, you're like someone, an artisan of sorts, who brings out these tools from his or her gig bag to get the job done. That's exactly how I see it. So let's take a look at this very first one. But before we do that, if you haven't been on previous sessions, my name is Phil. I will be taking you through the trajectory to understand these concepts and terms. I've trained various organizations worldwide, some of those that you see on the screen, and I've taken away some tips and tricks from these classes, things that make my students light bulbs go on as far as them truly understanding how better to manage their projects. So let's take a look at what quality is. As I said, it's fitness for use, it's conformance to requirements, and it's customer satisfaction. So in quality management, the first thing that we need to do is think about what quality is to us. The question, what is quality, should be answered. Quality is very important because the lack of quality could kill a project. Lack of quality could overtake an organization. Customer satisfaction is key. If the customer is not buying from you, you have a problem and you could run out of business. So prevention over inspection is valued a lot in quality. We want to prevent things before they happen. How do we do that? Through quality assurance. But even before quality assurance, there should be quality management planning. The PMI referred to this first process as plan quality management. And this is where our first tool for the day comes from. Plan quality management is where we create a plan that identifies quality standards that need to be met on the project. It's a document that looks very similar to this, but it's not the document that's the power in this tool. It is the journey of the team to get to an understanding of what quality is, what does it look like, what does it feel like, how do we know when we have arrived at a quality tool for the customer. So quality is a very, very important term of project management. Now, failure to adhere to quality standards could result in huge irrecoverable losses. There's a concept known as the cost of quality. There are two costs. One is a proactive cost and the other is a reactive one. The proactive cost is known as cost of conformance, as you can see on the screen. Within the cost of conformance, we have prevention cost, spending time and money to do things right, ensuring that your processes and procedures are solid, making sure that you assure quality. These are good costs. Appraisal costs like destructive testing loss is also good. These are costs that you spend up front in order to ensure your customer gets a clean product. But on the flip side, we have cost of non-conformance, which includes internal failure cost, such as scrap, wasted materials, and rework, spending labor hours, labor costs to repair defects. We also have on the negative end of the spectrum, external failure cost, liabilities, warranty work, and lost business, which we should vehemently avoid. So when you take a look at this first tool, in our gig bag for today, you'll realize that quality is at the core of success. So why don't we take a look now at a very important concept here encapsulated in the quality management plan. Let's take a look at that.
And here is our definition for the quality management plan. It's a plan for how quality will be defined, managed, and controlled. How will the process and product be checked? How do we assure customers that quality is being built into the product? These are some core questions that your quality management plan should answer. And here is a sample quality management plan put together by a colleague of mine. You can see there's an introduction to first underscore the importance of quality and give a general overview for the reader. Then we talk about quality management approaches. This could include quality standards and quality techniques. And then we go into the standards and requirements in some more detail. Product quality, process quality, those should also be defined. And the project manager should be on the lookout for those as well. The quality roles and responsibilities should also be outlined in this document. You could go a step further to include specific quality assurance and quality assurance records of interest. At the end, you should also round up with quality control and what type of quality reports will be examined on the project. So that is a very, very high-level example of a quality management plan. I once trained a company that made vessels, and they realized that their quality management process was faulty in that they found themselves checking the final product, but they didn't do a lot of checking of the process. So they began to ask themselves, how can we do this better? How can we actually check our process? And through a little bit of brainstorming, it will amaze you at how more efficient they realized they could be by taking these simple concepts and putting them back into their PMO. They got a whole lot of mileage out of this chapter. Now that we're done talking about the quality management plan, let's go back to our next tool and technique, or should I say tool in the gig bag. Now you've got 11. Let's make that 12. So what is tool number 12? It is called an Ishikawa diagram. People also call this a fishbone diagram and a cause and effect diagram. This is one of my all-time favorite tools. It's a tool for the identification of causes, of problems, or drivers of certain conditions. So you may ask the question, what exactly do you mean by identifying causes of problems? Well, if a deliverable is found to be defective, you could use an Ishikawa to brainstorm with the team and identify causes that lead to these defects. You could also use this as a way of identifying drivers for certain conditions, either good or bad, and it's quite a useful collaborative tool. Now, a good way to do this would be to put up a big Ishikawa on a wall and have post-it notes for your participants to show what contributes to whatever effect, but you need to do it in an orderly way so you can group these sources for each of the fish bones, and you could call the fish bones different overarching things. For example, we often use this to identify causes of poor project management. So poor project management would be the fish head, but the bones would be the different things, lack of a schedule or lack of planning, lack of executing, things such as that, or problems in executing. And then we drill down into the details to find out which specific problems across initiating to closing are causing this. It's quite a useful diagram to use, especially for brainstorming for ideas, thinking with the team and categorizing reasons for one state, future state you want to get to, or another. So let me show you an example of the Ishikawa.
And here on the screen, you can see an example of an Ishikawa. It's a diagram, like I said, that shows potential causes of a problem and the effect of proposed solutions on the problem, also known as Fishbone Diagram. Right here at the top, we could have a fish head to show what exactly the problem is. Let's move on to our next tool.